Forgot to do this last time, but we'll do it this time. Hey guys, how is everybody doing? So tonight we got our sixth episode of season 3 of Chucky titled Panic Room. So this episode is Chucky realizing that if he's going to die, he's going to take everyone out with him. And so he decides to finally go after the nukes that was hinted at in the trailers and at the end of the fifth episode from last week. I did talk about that episode. I will probably have a card at the end, at the end of this video. Go check out my thoughts on that episode and the rest of the season. I have reviewed the other four episodes from last October when this was split into two parts. Now, on the fifth episode, God, I keep burping. On the fifth episode, I said it was okay. It did feel a little weird going back to it because we've been gone from Chucky for so long that it just felt like a whole new season. The huge break that we took, and this episode, I don't really know how I feel about it. There are things in this episode that I really enjoyed and liked, but there are also other things that I just didn't like. The main thing that really stuck out to me, and I've had a problem with it since last episode, and that was the supernatural ghost stuff. They don't really do anything new with it. They just like hint at it that Chucky is a spirit, and I'm assuming by next week and the next episode, I'm pretty sure they will say this is that Chucky has been haunting the White House, and that Charles Lee Ray, the spirit of Chucky, is haunting the White House. I'm assuming that's what they'll do next week with the seventh episode, but don't quote me on it. But yeah, it's that stuff that I just don't know. I don't really like it so far, and I said in the fifth episode that we'll see where it goes. But now with this episode, I don't really like where it's going so far. I don't like what they're doing. I don't really care for it. It doesn't really match what this season has been doing since the other four episodes. I don't really like that so far, and hopefully, my thoughts will change with the next two episodes, but I highly doubt they will because what they're doing so far, I just don't care for, and it doesn't catch my attention whatsoever, if you ask me. But yeah, that's the main thing that stuck out to me. This episode is something I still have an issue with. Again, we'll see where it goes. And another thing, Devon Sawa, who died last week, which was a huge surprise to me, which I didn't expect him to die so quickly. And so what they do is that they bring in this new character that is supposed to be a clone of the president. I believe his name is like Dandel or Randall or something. I think it was Randall. And Devon Sawa plays yet another character in this episode, and they show that when it comes to moments like these where there's a huge crisis and there's a huge crisis going on at the White House and they don't know what's going on, and then the president turns out dead, there comes moments to where they need to get a clone of the president to show that there's nothing to really be worried about and that the president is fine and that the White House will figure it out. And that's the main reason that they have a clone of him. But I don't like that. It's stupid, and this version of Devon Sawa, where he's trying to play a clone of the president, and they make him just like this corny, stupid, awkward guy, and then he tries to talk to the Mrs. President, and it's just like, ever since I was 8 years old, I wanted to be a politic, but I didn't do so good in school. It's like stuff like that, and I don't know how to feel. And this is like Devon Sawa's fifth role in this entire series because he played Jake's dad and uncle in the first season. Then he played a priest or the father second season. Then he played the president, and now he plays the president's clone in this season. Now I applaud him for being able to play different performances, so kudos to him. But at this point, I'm getting tired of it. At one point, I think that Don Mancini needs to just let go of Devon Sawa. Now with this, I don't know what they're gonna do with them. I just think that what they did, I think, was stupid, and I don't know why if they're just gonna do that, why kill the president at all? I would have preferred they just kept the president alive, so we wouldn't have to deal with this stupid bullshit with the president's clone and all that. I wish they didn't do that. But however, I will admit the kills in this episode were good. The practical effects and the gore that was like in the rest of the season has been pretty good. Like the one where he shoves the pen through the guy's eye. I thought that was a pretty gnarly kill, and I really liked that. And the old Chucky look, I thought was great throughout this episode until he died at the end of this episode. And yeah, I like what they were doing with him. I'm gonna fix his down ball here. And the nuke scene, that was that was pretty silly. I thought it was it got me a good laugh when he was targeting the North Pole. He goes, if any kids somehow live through all this, I want them to know that Santa Claus doesn't exist. And then Henry in the back goes, what? That got a good laugh out of me. And then when he gets shot, excuse me, and he's presumably dead now and just out for the count, and he finally gets up and he goes, "Fuck Santa Claus!" and he pushes the button to launch the nuke. Like stuff that stuff there that got a good laugh out of me, but the CGI. Ugh, I get it. It's on the Sci-Fi Channel. It's on cable. It's a TV show. But dear Lord, it was horrible. Like, cause like it looked like something like out of like a really short budget like fan film in a way is what it looked like. And then when Chucky like dissolves, when dissolves and becomes bones, and then his bones dissolve, I was like, oh, that looked horrible. But again, it's the Sci-Fi Channel and it's on TV, so I can't complain too much. But again, there's nothing new I can really say on this episode because I, I'm mixed on this episode. I'm hoping with the next week, and by next week when I see the next episode, I'm hoping my thoughts will change a lot. Maybe I'll come around and be like, oh, you know what, sixth episode wasn't bad. And it seems like, and it was like last season. Last season, I didn't like the sixth episode whatsoever. I didn't really like what they were doing with that. Not doing with that, but what they did with that episode in season two, I didn't like whatsoever. And that was my least favorite episode of that entire season. And then it comes around this one, and again, it might be my least favorite episode out of all of them. Maybe episode two. But it seems like when it comes to episode six with the series, I seem to just not care for it. But maybe that's just me. But yeah, I didn't hate this episode. I'm just incredibly mixed on it. There are a few things in here that worked for me, and then there's a few things in here that just didn't work for me. But hey, maybe I'm on an island with that. Maybe a lot more people enjoyed that, and I want to know your guys' thoughts. I want you to tell me, did you like this episode or not? Because if you liked it, I'm glad. But for me, I'm just mixed on it. I just don't know how to feel on it so far. So, if you enjoyed this episode, let me know. And if you didn't get a chance to watch it, go check it out on Peacock on Thursday or today, whenever you check out this video, or whatever you decide to check out this video. But yeah, let me know in the comments below if you like this episode or not, or or you like with me and you just don't know how to feel about it. But let me know in the comments below and we shall talk about it. And if you like this video, like it. And if you want to see more Chucky content like this, please subscribe and hit the bell notification so you will get notified for all of my latest videos. And of course, until my next video, I'll see you all next time. And as a man once said, fuck you very much.